Ooh, players. This whole situation with Rudy Ferris, his mama Janie Santana, Cornell X, and the Houston Police Department just got even more interesting and perplexing. Please, players, y'all grab your tea and have a seat. Not the Houston Police Department basically saying that Cornell X was not telling the truth. I declare. If you didn't know, then now you know that Rudy Ferris was reported missing by his mother, Janie Santana, back in 2015. He was 17 years old. She claimed that he went to walk the dogs and he never came back. Fast forward 8 years later, at 25 years old, Rudy was found behind a church looking very disheveled. Police made it to the scene. They called his mama and they say that Rudy, who is now 25, refused treatment. So they let him go with his mama. And when this whole story broke Annalise Keaton's internet, of course, a lot of people had questions, including the neighbors of Janie Santana, because they say that Rudy was not missing. They claimed that he would come and hang out with them in the garage, that he would go to work with his mama Janie, that he was seen throughout the neighborhood. He was not missing. So, of course, many people had questions for his mama, Janie. Now, that's where local activist Cornell X come in. He said that he was called in to come and talk to Rudy, and he did just that with a detective present at the hotel. He claimed that Rudy told him in front of detectives that he was taken advantage of in the worst way by his mother. Cornell said that Rudy told him that his mother would put him under influence and made him hide from people that were looking for him and all kinds of old stuff. It was horrible. But this morning, the Houston Police Department held a press conference, and they basically said that they knew that Rudy was not missing. They stated that he had interactions with the police over the years, and they knew that he had been located one day after he was initially reported missing by his mother. They said they corroborated this with family members and neighbors, but when Rudy would have the interactions with the cops, he would lie about his name, so everything just kind of slipped through the crack. As far as the story that was told to Cornell X, the Houston Police Department very carefully stated that their detectives did not get the same story that Cornell X got, even though Cornell stated that a detective was there when Rudy was telling him this story. They very carefully stated these things to not question the integrity of Cornell X, but they said that they did not hear the same thing that Cornell heard. They also stated that no charges will be filed at this time. They said they presented the evidence to the district attorney, and the district attorney has declined to press charges against Rudy or his mother regarding false statements made to the police surrounding Rudy's disappearance. Now, according to them, Rudy is still with his mother, and since he's 25, he's able to make that decision. However, they did refer him to Adult Protective Services. Child, this is wild. It's a roller coaster ride. A roller coaster. Stick around and watch the news conference. I'm going to attach that and then put your thoughts in the comments. This is Double D Mo for the Black Accurate News.
He was 17 years old when his mother reported him missing. During the 8-year time frame where he was missing, investigators followed up on many tips, leads, collected evidence proving that Rudy was not missing during the 8-year period. Many of these facts included contacts and statements with relatives, friends, neighbors, and medical professionals. Rudy was recently identified as having previous HPD interactions, meaning that he made contact with patrol officers out on the street. However, during these contacts, fictitious names and date of births were given, misleading the officers, and Rudy would remain missing. In fact, both Janie, Rudy's mother, and Rudy himself gave fictitious names while interacting with various patrol officers. After investigators talked with him yesterday, it was discovered that Rudy returned home the following day on March 8th, 2015. The mother, Janie, continued to deceive police by remaining adamant that Rudy was still missing. She alleged her nephew was the person friends and family were seeing coming and going. However, we disputed that. Currently, the DA has declined any charges at this time for making fictitious reports and failure to ID. Investigators have reached out to Adult Protective Services. HPD Victim Services has reached out. We've also connected Rudy with Victim Services to ensure that he has a method to recover. Now, based on Rudy's interview, there were no reports of sexual abuse reported. if there is a disclosure made, we will continue to investigate. Currently, the investigation is active, and there are new leads coming in. We'll continue to follow those leads.